All right, to the other game today where Germany beat Denmark 2-0. We saw a weather delay in the first half due to thunderstorms and heavy rain. We also saw Denmark go ahead, but that goal was disallowed for offside. Ball then goes up the other end. Germany get a penalty, which Kai Havertz put away, and Jamal Musiala added another in the 68th minute to make it 2-0. Jurgen Klinsmann still with us. Jurgen, your thoughts after what we saw from the Germans today?
Well, 2-0 sounds really nice. I think it was far closer. It was a very, very tight game. Denmark gave it all. They scored the first goal, and it was then disallowed, but literally for half an inch of offside. I mean, half an inch, if so. And just a minute later, they conceded that handball penalty, which you can discuss, but eventually it was slightly handball, so he has to give it. And Germany goes up a goal and then scores another one with Musiala at the end. I think overall that Germany had more from the game. They had more chances. They created a lot in the first half an hour. But Denmark was always present. Denmark always gave it a go, had their chances too. So it was an open game until Musiala basically sealed it with the second goal. But overall, I think it was deserved for Germany. Now, obviously, they're going to watch, who's going to be the opponent in the quarterfinals. It was a very, very good game. Unfortunately, it had this weather delay. The hail came down and rain like crazy. And a lot of people already feared that they might have to replay that game tomorrow. But thankfully, they could continue the game about 10, 15 minutes later. And being on the winning front is fantastic for the country, for that German team, for Julian Nagelsmann, who does a really, really good job with the boys. So hopefully we can continue that way.
Stevie, the handball, when Germany got the penalty, what did you make of that moment from Anderson?
I think straight away it's a case of that's the way the game's refereed today. There's absolutely nothing that Anderson can do. He's running that way, his motion is going that way, his hand is not in a unnatural position whatsoever. But as I said, it's just because of the way the game's refereed today that we all go penalty straight away. And of course, VAR agrees with the referee, it's a penalty. But I don't like it because there's nothing that Anderson can do. There is absolutely no fault on Anderson whatsoever. It's just a fact of the way that the game's refereed, that a situation like that is looked upon as a penalty kick. For me, it's not, but that's the way the game's refereed today. So it is.
Do you agree with Stevie that
I do agree, and it's sad because, they created VAR to maybe avoid debates. We never had so many debates about that, and especially on handballs, I think they should change it because it takes out the fact that we are talking about human beings, and so you have to make sure that you have to see if there is a way of thinking that the guy didn't do it on purpose, and that's the case for Anderson. So in that case, if the ball goes to the end, and like it used to be in my time, there is not a foul. It's not the other way around. I can understand if you do that you try to catch the ball or you try to make yourself bigger. That I have no problem whatsoever. But if your hand doesn't move and because you run, the ball comes to your hand, there is no, for me, penalty. That's unfair for the Danes. That's good for the Germans. It's how it is. We don't have to complain because that's the rule right now. I think it has to be rethought.
Stevie, do you agree with Jurgen that it was closer than 2-0 suggests between these two sides?
If you're Danish, you're looking at the two chances that Højlund had. But I think overall, when the Germans were in charge of the game, they looked dangerous. I think for the Germans, the worrying thing would be there was periods in the game where they lost control and gave the Danes the opportunity to do something. I think that would be the problem. If they're playing against a better side, a team that's way faster and way smarter in the attacking third, then we could be looking at a different outcome. But I think on today's performance, I kind of disagree with Jurgen. I thought it would have been a travesty had the Germans not won this game. And that's only because of two chances that Hoyland had, but at the end of the day, the Germans had so many opportunities.
The first 10 minutes, they had 5 chances to score.
Yeah. I mean, they had four corners, didn't they?
Yeah,
in
and
the first 10 minutes.
that's for me. I think when the Danes had the chances to score, is because the Germans were breathing a little bit. That's what you need to get the second breath. But overall, there is nothing to say.
What did you make of the lineup changes from Julian Nagelsmann today then, Jurgen? Obviously, we saw Leroy Sané from the start today, no Florian Wirtz, and then obviously bring Füllkrug into this conversation too. What did you make of his decisions today?
Well, they're totally fine, obviously. When they win the game, then he did everything right, obviously. And I mean, Sané, you can bring him always from the beginning on. It's not a problem instead of Wirtz, and Wirtz comes on in later, or do it vice versa. I mean, the key thing was the left defending side. You know, Schlotterbeck had to come in for Tar. He was the second yellow carded. And Raum basically took the spot for Mittelstadt. And they did fine. I mean, it went all okay. I mean, Schlotterbeck did the beautiful assist for Musiala's goal then, the counter break in the second half. And so overall, it worked out. I mean, he continues to play Havertz as a false number 9 from the beginning on, brings in Füllkrug later on. Even Füllkrug could have scored a goal or two at the end of the game. So everything done okay. I mean, certainly what makes you a little tiny bit nervous as a German is that we give away still quite a few chances to the opponents. And I mean, not forget that the Switzerland game left us a little bit, with question marks because we equalized that game just in the very, very end of the game, and Switzerland could have won it. So it's not a surprise that actually Switzerland beats Italy. They should have beaten almost Germany just right before that. But I think when you kind of you're on the winning side, at the end of the day, you move on, and now comes the quarterfinals. So you grow as a group, you grow, you keep, the spirit is getting stronger and stronger. Obviously, the excitement in Germany is getting bigger and bigger because with every knockout game that you pass, the crowd will go, more and more excited, and the support is tremendous. Hopefully, the next game, the weather will be there as well.
Jurgen, can I ask you a question? What do you make of Sané? Sané, to me, is one of these guys that either wins you the cup final or gets you the sack. And actually, he's got a few Bayern Munich managers sacked. The guy looks so disinterested the majority of the time. And whenever he gets in good positions, for me, he drives me insane because he picks the wrong option. Even when there's 2 or 3, he picks the 4th one that's not on. He just drives me insane.
Yeah, so he's the type of a player that you as a manager, you would just love to fix. You try to, okay, maybe I can enter his brain and make him be more consistent, make him, be more strategic, make the right, as you said, make the first thought priority and just execute your first thought and don't go with the second or the third thought, in his movements. But as surprising he is then to you as the manager for your own team and your own teammates, maybe he's even more surprising than to the opponents because they never know what he's doing in the next moment. So, so maybe, he's surprising now in the next game. Could possibly be Spain, and they don't know how to deal with him because, he doesn't know it. He doesn't know himself what his next move is. But, I mean, you have these exceptional talents in many teams, especially these wingers, in many teams in Europe, in the top teams. And you wonder, why are they not consistent enough? Why are they not scoring every year 10, 15 goals, giving you 10, 12 assists on a regular base? If it's on the English side, if it's on the French side, you have these similar player types. I mean, at Bayern Munich, behind Sané is Coman. Coman would play in any other Champions League team in Europe, and he's getting barely minutes there because Sané is ahead of him, Musiala is ahead of him, and so forth. But these type of players, they can... They can challenge you, which is a fantastic thing for a manager to do, but they also can cost you, as you said, it can cost you your job and a lot of gray hair.
I think you never give up on those players because you always expect something special. And I think Sané is kind of the Dembele of Germany, where I call him the what a pity. It's like you're always excited, you say, oh, something... Oh, what a pity. And another chance, oh, what a pity. And that's what I see with Sané and what I see with Dembele. And you say, well, at one time he's going to pay. He's going to pay off. He's going to, oh, what a pity. But you don't want to give up because I guess we are stubborn.